decorate, how they package. So it's a mutual learning process. If we're a social environmental sustainability, we have it embedded in our business model, that has to happen. And of course, once it comes to us, there's a lot of, as I mentioned, handmade work, like making sure it does go out in the best quality. It is premium hospitality grade tea, I would say.
Alina, just one final question.
Yes, sir.
How big of a team you have? So the company size, the team who's working on this?
Yes, so it's a pretty small team. Most of my employees are actually part-time. So I do it on a project-by-project basis, even for most of our tea orders. And that's kind of how I manage the stock inventory. So I do it on an order-by-order basis. This is also a very sustainable way. And I also kind of go on with the seasons of the tea when it comes, what do you offer when we don't. Thank you. Thank you. Oh.
Thank you, Lina, for that presentation. Big applause for her. And now we go to the next participant. It's Sarah Albaiz, Managing Director of Kantara. Kantara is a Saudi-based art infrastructure company shaping how art is sourced, managed, and integrated across hospitality and institutional settings. Sarah, the stage is yours. Big applause for Sarah, please.
الو ايش بس ما يشتغل ترى لا شوف مش يشتغل طب اعطيني مايك اي خلاص اوكي كويس thank you okay. Sorry for the technical malfunction. My name is Sarah Albaiz. I'm the managing director and co-founder of Qantara Studio. Qantara Studio basically holds the cultural revenue layer. It's a 6 billion riyal industry today and even more tomorrow. So what's the problem? Mandates exist for hospitality, but infrastructure doesn't. So there's a lot of mandates out there from the Ministry of Culture, from the Ministry of Tourism, for art within hospitality and institutional projects, but there's no infrastructure to help facilitate that mandate. So the Ministry of the Culture Directive in 2020 showcases that Saudi art in public and hospitality spaces must be there. Giga projects like NEOM, Red Sea Global have cultural KPIs, but nowhere to manage it. There's almost $12 billion spent on hospitality annually, specifically hospitality interiors, yet cultural tracking and attribution remains super fragmented across the multiple hospitality layers. So most artwork is produced during the fit-out and never again touched. So where's the missed opportunity here? The missed opportunity is across 3 pillars: registry, stored artwork, and cultural budgets. This presents this almost 6 billion riyal opportunity across these pillars. So for registry and leasing, it's 1.30 billion alone. And with the stored artworks, it's 2.6 billion alone and 2.2 for the cultural budgets of FNE. So the solution is Qantara. Qantara is a lot of things, but specifically for the hospitality industry, it's centralized sourcing. It's one vendor for all registry-backed acquisitions, rotational programs across seasons and other asset-backed acquisitions, and portfolio-wide traceability across all of your portfolio across all of the projects, not just your singular project. So I'll present to you a proof of concept we've done with private collectors. Most of our deals have been with private collectors directly. So we've been delivering almost 112K worth of artworks that are direct provenance, so direct from the artist, stimulating the hospitality environments. These budgets are similar to the ones we've dealt also in hospitality projects. It's built full back-end sourcing, provenance, bilingual documentation so everyone in your team could understand, artwork tracing, and installation logistics. So we have an average of a 7-day lead time for both institutions as well as private collectors. But specifically for private collectors, we've beat the record for how fast we can deliver those artworks. So in light of all of this and in light of the hospitality projects that we're tackling, we've launched our collection management platform that allows you to digitize, catalog, and track all of the artworks that you have across all of your projects. Ready to scale across not just one project or one hotel, but all of the branches worldwide. So what are we asking for today? We want to turn store art into active cultural capital, not just for us, but at scale. So we're looking at access to institutional hospitality spaces and giga project pipelines, as well as partnerships to deploy the registry we currently have, as well as the registry we have access for, and open calls, RFPs, and anything that we could deploy all of this capital as well as the artworks into. So thank you. Yeah, I'll leave this one.
الله يديك العافية.
الله يعافيك.
So my question is that how is the revenue model is being worked out? Are you going to be a broker taking commission? So just if you take us through the financial modeling of it.
Yes. So for our model, we have two models that we're offering hospitality. We have managing their own collection as well as sourcing for that specific project. So with artwork sales or collection sales specifically, we do have a percentage, and we have the lowest percentage globally. It's 15% on both the collection and the artwork across each project. So we build based on the project. Similarly, for the collection management, we have a fixed fee of $700 per month to manage all of the collections across all of your projects.
Hi. So the question is, how do you verify the authenticity of the products? Yeah, any artist or anyone can just give you art and then they tell you this is my art. How do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are two types of artworks we receive. There are the ones that we source directly from the artist studio, since we're very active in the art market. As me being an artist myself as well, we have a lot of connections with artist studios, so we source directly from the artist studio. So that we don't need verification. We do offer the artist IP if they want to, but we don't offer verification since it's direct provenance or direct from the source. If someone sells us an artwork or we acquire a collection of someone we don't know, before the acquisition is complete, we basically go ahead and authenticate, basically retrace the provenance and go back to either the artist studio if they're still alive or the estate or whatever we can access in order to verify the authenticity of that specific collection or that specific artwork. So we never basically take into our collection anything that's not able to be authenticated in any capacity. And I'm also an art appraiser, so I could value and authenticate all of the artworks, and I'm one of the only art appraisers in the kingdom. So that helps a lot in our mission because we can verify that we do not take anything that's not authentic or not direct from the source at least.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you.
Hello.
Sarah, can you talk a little bit about your customer segments? I just want to understand whether it's the ministry or the private sector, and
Okay.
tell us a little more about your segmentation.
Okay, so for the customer segments in the hospitality space specifically, our customers are the hotels or any hospitality project owner. It's not necessarily the ministry. The ministry regulates what we do by product of what they kind of have directives and mandates and so on. But our clients are hotels, commercial spaces, offices. Those are our clients. There is the other side where we cater to artists as well. But that is in order to get the collection to the hotel, to the private collector, to those spaces. So those are our customer segments.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, thank you, Sarah, for that Great presentation. And now we go to the third participant. It's okay? Yeah. Now is Asif Alidina, co-founder and CEO of Intello AI. Intello AI made history in 2025 by launching the UK first AI concierge, combining conversational and agnetic AI to talk to guests and transform hotel operations. Asif, we're so happy to hear what you have to share with us. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hi, lovely to be here. My name is Asif Aladina. I'm co-founder and CEO of Intello AI. We're the AI concierge that saves time, increases revenue, and delights guests as well. We are addressing an age-old issue and pain point in daily hotel operations across the world, and that's failed communications. You see, we're failing to communicate effectively with our guests, but we're also failing to communicate effectively as a team to get the job done. Even today, guests pick up the phone in the hotel room and nobody answers, or they answer and there's a language barrier. And now we're asking them to download yet another app, or worse still, order room service through a TV or a tablet. It's frustrating and it's broken. At the same time, our front desk teams are incredibly overwhelmed. Every decision they make is a trade-off, whether they should answer the phone, respond to a message, or speak to the guest that's standing in front of them at front desk. And our operations team are completely overloaded. They have a tough job as it is to clean the rooms and fix items in the property, but at the same time, they're dealing with haphazard task management, endless apps that don't work, inefficient radios, they're getting direct WhatsApp messages, and it slows them down. And what it really means is we're losing revenue opportunities. We're losing the opportunity to upsell the guest in real time whilst they're in the property. We're losing the opportunity to potentially bring them on board as loyal customers because they're getting a subpar or bad experience. And at the same time, we're paying more than we should to operate these hotels. Because of these baked-in communication inefficiencies that we've become used to, we're paying more than we should to operate the hotel, but it's also not an enjoyable working environment for the staff, which means they don't stay, and we're also paying for that recruitment and turnover cost as well. And I know these issues firsthand. I've worked over 10 years in outsourced housekeeping, hotel operations, and facilities management. I've pushed linen carts at one point. I've made beds. I understand the pain and how hammered these hotel operations teams are. So together with my co-founder and CTO, Shahzain, who's a highly experienced full-stack engineer and has built robust customer-facing platforms, we decided to address this issue using some of the latest AI technologies. And what we've done is we've created an AI solution that seamlessly links the guest's communications directly to the team member that needs to get the job done. We're removing all of the bottlenecks associated with front desk and how hotels operate at the moment. So the guest asks for something and it instantly gets to the person that needs to bring them that issue or fix that issue that they may have. And what that means when we do that in that seamless way is that we open up a whole bunch of new opportunities to upsell the guest while they're on property, to get feedback from them in real time if they're having an issue, to fix it before they leave, and also to personalize their stay and get them on board as loyal customers. We're also lowering operational costs. Again, these are new efficiencies that haven't existed to date, that are baked into hotel operations today. So by removing the communications bottlenecks, we're saving an incredible amount of time for the hotel operations team, and that comes back to the bottom line. So how does it work specifically? Well, we're using conversational AI. We've created an AI concierge. Guests can talk to it over the phone, or they can message it directly over text message or even applications like WhatsApp. They don't have to download any additional apps. They don't even have to use the hotel phone if they don't want to. But when they talk to the AI concierge and they message it, it instantly translates what they're asking for into tasks for the hotel team. And so that's where we're using agentic AI, because our AI solution then categorizes, summarizes, prioritizes, and distributes succinct, actionable tasks to every hotel staff member. So everyone in the hotel, from the room attendant to the maintenance manager, has their own bespoke list in real time that's instantly prioritized as they're walking around the hotel getting their job done. And the hotels and the guests that have used our system really, really love it. Whether it's the maintenance managers, the housekeeping managers, or the hotel managers, they're all saying how much they enjoy their work more by using it. It saves a lot of time and it makes the business run more efficiently. At the same time, the guests that we've sampled and put it in front of, whether they're from North America, whether they're from Asia or from Europe, they all say how much they love using it, how natural it feels, and how they'd be happy to use it in their hotel. So where are we today? Well, we're a very early stage technology company. We just secured our first customers in Q1 of this year, and we are now aggressively growing the business. You heard earlier, we made history at the end of March, launching the first ever AI concierge that talks to guests over the phone or over messaging in the UK, and I'm now looking at expanding both in the UK and globally. We've also done something very unique. We've partnered with 3 of the world's top hospitality schools, EHL in Switzerland, Hotel School The Hague in the Netherlands, and the UK's own University of Essex Edge Hotel School. And there we're doing 2 very unique things. One is that we're putting our solution in front of the next generation of hotel leaders so that they're familiar not only with AI, but with our solution as they go out into their future careers. But more importantly, they're helping us document these time operational savings so that we actually have real proof, not just numbers that we're throwing out there. And the data's showing at the moment that for an average 100-room hotel at 80% occupancy, we're saving over £50,000, that's British pounds sterling, for that 100-room hotel. So you imagine across your portfolio or across larger resorts and properties, the potential efficiency savings there. We are raising our pre-seed, which I'm looking to close at the end of this month. We have secured 85% of it already. We are backed by 3 venture capital funds. This round is being led by Hatch Venture Capital and the British Business Investments in the UK. It's really exciting to be here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So for the right partner, I'm very interested to see how we can take this into a global business for the future. If you're interested to know more, you can scan, if you're a hotel or a group, you can scan the QR code and instantly calculate the return on investment from using our AI concierge. And if you're an investor and you're interested, you can scan that QR code and see our pitch deck as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Asif, for this. I think it's a very interesting idea. My question is that when it comes to AI, you get the hiccups. Is that you ask for something and then suddenly something else appears. How are you managing that? This is one thing. And the second thing, when it comes to your revenue models, is it based on subscriptions? Is it based on what? If you can elaborate on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellent questions. So that first part that you mentioned, we often refer to as AI hallucination. And you're right. And that's why we can't put ChatGPT straight into a hotel, because it hallucinates. And that's specifically why our solution exists. So we're using a technical methodology called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. And what that means is that we put guardrails in place for the AI, and therefore we create a knowledge base. Our knowledge base is details from your hotel, the services, your brand standards, your SOPs, as well as generic information about how to deal with hotel customers. And that's what the AI feeds off. So there's really zero room for any real big hallucination in the hotel. It's zero, but it means that it has to be laser focused, and we have to do our work to make sure that everything that the guest is asking for is there for them as well. So we've put restrictive controls in place, but so that it remains accurate. On your second point about pricing models, so our core solution, this AI concierge, we charge it similar to a SaaS product on a monthly fee based on the size of the hotel or the portfolio. But what's really interesting is we'll be launching our upselling feature, which upsells the guest in real time if they want that. And what that means is we're generating incremental revenue. There we won't be charging a fee, we'll be charging an outcome-based commission pricing on what we upsell in stay as well. So that's really exciting for us.
Thank you for your presentation. So the question I have is, have you kind of looked at the first savings you outlined, what the CAC was to the payback period for that particular hotel that you gave us an example of? And then how are you measuring the incremental revenue? You said you're upselling. Is that any metrics that you can provide for that one hotel?
It's early to say because we're at such an early stage, right? But the first customers that we've had have actually come through networks and design partnerships and pilots that have converted into paying customers over the last 6 months. As far as customer acquisition is concerned, we are now at the moment launching our go-to-market strategy where we'll be able to measure the CAC and see how far we go with it. But we're doing direct selling, partnerships, case studies, sales relationships, and so on. So that's one part of it. And the second part of your question was about, just remind me. Incremental upselling, absolutely. That's currently in testing with our design partners at the moment. The estimate is that we're increasing incremental revenue by around 30%. So it's quite significant. And we're doing that really interestingly just by asking guests some simple questions when they arrive in a friction-free way. So if you tell me that you're here for business, you like fine dining, and you like fitness, suddenly we're upselling you wellness elements or wellness excursions and so on if you opt in for it. And that's really driving quite a high percentage of incremental revenue increase. So I'm excited about that.
Excellent. What's about the revenue that you are generating? Is it through the saving that you made to the hotel or subscription base or what?
Yes, it's subscription based. The saving that I showed you is after they've paid for our system, so that's a net saving to them after they've already purchased our solution. So our cost is taken out of that saving. But yes, we charge a subscription fee. We're basing it on the number of rooms in the portfolio per month.
How many room that hotel has, and there is a subscription for each room?
Absolutely, but
How
a
much
monthly
is
fee.
it?
It can be around $20 per room per month, USD.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And do you know what is the impact of the revenue of the hotel, the fees that you are taking?
Well, you know, the way I'm looking at it is it's based on the time savings that they're generating is quite significant for them. In that 100-room hotel that I shared with you, at 80% occupancy, that's 80 rooms occupied. If just half of those guests make one request a day, we are saving 15 minutes per request. That's 10 hours a day. That's what results in that £50,000 per year saving. I think that's an underestimate. If the larger properties we go to, there are far more requests coming in, room service, amenity bookings, and so on. And so I think that as we grow the business, we're going to see those savings really increase. And then we combine it with the upselling revenue. I think it's a really compelling case.
Yeah, I think it's worth to simulate, let's say, the payroll cost usually in hotel, it's the ratio, it's around, let's say, for example, 30%
Yes.
or 28%. When you apply this, the payroll cost will go to 22%. Did you do that or not yet?
I've not done that yet, but I will do. That's a really good way of looking at it. I'd be happy to do that as well.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Thank you.
Hi, one question.
Yes.
You know, when it comes to AI, there's a lot of data collection and data privacy, and a lot of people are complaining with that. Like, how do you see this? Does it affect you in any way, and how do you ensure that these information are not, like, customers' information are protected?
Absolutely. It's such an important question. There's actually 4 areas. I'm going to be super quick to answer it quickly for you. The first part is that absolutely our solution and any other solution has to be compliant with the latest regulations and laws around data security and privacy. So in my case, in the UK, General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, we have to be compliant with that. We are currently looking at ISO 27001 for information and data security and other accreditations. That's really important for us and any other technology solution in hotels. I think there's another part to it, which is the use of AI. I'm very keen to make sure that guest details don't get leaked out to these large language models. I think this is a big problem for the future. And so the way we've dealt with it is actually we've anonymized, and we don't take guest names or personally identifiable information from the guest. That remains in the PMS. What we do is we track on a token basis every stay, and we're able then to capture that information and use it in an anonymized, encrypted way. The third element is that guests should voluntarily offer what data they want to share. I mentioned to you earlier about this upselling and asking a few questions. We've deliberately made that voluntary, so it's not intrusive. I'm not scraping your data and offering you something that you didn't know that I knew about you. Instead, I'm asking you, okay, tell me why you're here if you'd like to personalize the stay. And if you would, we can then start to offer you things that really matter as well. So I think that's really important. And something that I discussed here today with somebody at the show was maybe in the future there is options to go one step further and really empower people to carry their own credentials on how they want to personalize their stay with them. And this is an exciting part as well. So there's 4 aspects, but this is top of my mind, and which is why the partnerships with the hotel schools are really important for us as well, because EHL, Hotel School The Hague, University of Essex, their researchers are helping us a great deal, using students as well, to try and get ahead of this for the future, because the landscape is changing very fast. But it's a great question. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Thank you, Asif, for the great presentation. And now we continue with our 4 participant. Is George Boss, founder of the Natural Bottle. This is the first world 100% biodegradable, 100% bio-based. I think we're having issues. Okay, we're good now. So this is 100% biodegradable, 100% bio-based, and 100% recyclable bottle with a natural organic look to match its fully organic composition. George, the stage is yours.
Test. Yes. Test. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Salam alaikum. My name is George Bos, and I'm going to present today to you, in my point of view, a revolution in the global hospitality industry. It's the natural bottle, what I have here in my hand. My name is George Bos. I'm the founder, and this idea came from a deep-rooted mission, actually, because I was living in China and I was working in the trading industry. So I went to many factories and to see if the price could be reduced or the quality could be improved. And I discovered so much mass pollution, so that I saw so much harmful waste in nature because of the mass production. So even though I was extremely ambitious in that business, I wanted to sell as much as I humanly can, containers full. But on the other hand, I also saw the core and the mass pollution it was creating, and that touched me very deeply. After that experience, I went back to my home country, the Netherlands. I work for a private equity company. There I experienced that it's possible to change an industry with a small group of smart people, with a proper intellectual property proposition, and this got me thinking. After that experience, I developed a reusable bottle company. So this was the company before this initiative, and this was a reusable bottle made from renewable resources. I started selling that bottle door to door, until I found a few distributors. We sold 1 million units in total. I sold that company to my largest distributor. And the main reason for that was I wanted to make a much bigger impact in the world. And that was this concept I started. And this was 5 years ago. We started a research and development trajectory. I started to invest my own 200,000 euros in the company, and we continued until we found a proper proof of concept. That is a container application that is 100% biodegradable, with a shelf life of 1.5 years. So it's an ideal product for the mainstream market. And one of the main industries is the hospitality industry. Because if you think about it, if you walk into a hotel room, there are often 2 water bottles ready, and if you walk in a bathroom, there's a shampoo, conditioner, and soap bottle there. And we can basically start supplying those ones, and we can make a massive reduction of harmful waste in the world. So if you look at the entire industry, 500 billion bottles are consumed every year, 1 million per minute, and we discovered a patented application to make a proper change for the good in that. So in this development trajectory, we filed for a patent that is covered in 157 countries, and we're happy to let you know that in June the very first customers are going to be receiving the bottles for the first time. We're speaking also to quite some hotels, so it is starting in the hospitality world. So I first started as an idea to create a water bottle, but due to the research and development trajectory, we went through so much tests that we decided to make a container application out of this bottle that is 100% biodegradable, 100% recyclable, and made from 100% renewable resources with an organic look. Because a lot of soap or cosmetics brands, they do what they can to realize a content that is fully organic, but they just all put it in a fossil fuel-based container application. So we are ready to make that leap now. We are at the stage 1.2 million euros has been invested so far in the business. We have 8 signed MOUs with small customers and quite larger customers. And in June we're supplying the very first one, so we're developing a revenue runway. We're also open up for investments to join our round at this stage. We can leverage our investment round with 70% of Dutch subsidies. The European Union is also one of our co-investors, and I'm in the process of partly relocating to the Middle East. Why? Because there is just so much potential for this application, and I would like to invite you to receive a sample. It will increase your brand awareness. It can reduce a lot of harmful waste in the world. I think we should just go for this and make this change happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. I just wanted to understand the cost per bottle when you compare it to recycled plastics, right? And is there some sort of breakthrough that you're waiting on to kind of bring it to a parity level with recycled plastics? Because that's still going to be a buying decision, right? At the end of the day for hoteliers or franchisors in the crowd here. Mm-hmm. And I've got a second question, which is, when I look at it, do you have some sort of regulatory certification that you have to go through to classify it as a fully recyclable bottle? Because these standards keep changing, right? So you kind of have to look at how do you de-risk that, and then if you're going to build it out, how are the factories going to adjust to that? So that just, can you talk about that, please?
Yes, of course. This has been something that kept me awake quite a lot the last years. And I also studied the profiles of the judges, and I would love to get in contact more about your experiences, what we can mean for each other in the region. And price point of view and certification point of view is a crucial one. To elaborate a little bit further on the price, so if you look at the raw prices when they come out of the factory, when they produce them now, they're produced in Germany, near Cologne. That is where our test production is. And if you compare the cost price to the global, extremely well-developed PET bottle industry, the PET bottles are produced with a price of roughly 15 cents each. This bottle is, when we sell them now, 45 cents. So that's quite a huge amount. So therefore we discovered what is in the beginning the perfect product market fit, and what would be in due time when we are up to 50 million in bottle production, or 100 million, 500 million, or a billion. What is then the comparisons? And when we reach a billion bottles, we will be a little bit less than twice as expensive as plastic bottles. But if you compare us with aluminium and glass, we realize a proper competitor's proposition. But how we want to conquer that is to enter the market in the higher segments, and as well in the shampoo, conditioner and soap markets, and in the higher end water markets. One of our potential leads here in the region, to give you an idea, is Al Rabi. They have a bottle with a UK brand called iPro, which is a proper example of the higher end. They have also a soda in it that is, stevia sugar based, and they sell it on a higher price. So in the beginning, we enter in the higher segments to reach much more a mass change, as well as these different industries like the Care Plus shampoo, conditioner, and soap, or even vitamin pill bottles. For the market fit is there and much better. That is the price answer. And then we have also, by the way, a comparison of the price today and in 5 years, because the expectations for the cost of our raw material will be reduced as well within our expectations. So then we can get even more competitive. And your other question regarding the certification, it's German produced, made in Germany. And because of the certifications we realized, including the food safety certification, the 100% biodegradability certification, like home compostable, those kinds of, we can very easily automatically realize the Saudi Arabian certifications based on those certifications. Please.
George, but it seems like you're on the cost curve, you're 3x higher than the closest alternative. And I get what you were saying about entering at the high end of the market, but is there a technical breakthrough to kind of bring this in parity with, recyclable plastics? I mean, because the buyer is still going to be cost conscious when it comes down to a bottle. That's why I'm trying to figure out, where are you in this journey? And does someone own that sort of technical breakthrough in your organization?
Okay, so the example I made was the comparison with fossil-based virgin plastic. So there are comparisons. Excuse me? Yeah. Yes. Have a look, yes. So these huge differences is what I compare them to. I have an overview where we compare it with recyclable plastic, virgin plastic, Tetra Pak, aluminium, etc. So you can see what kind of competition we have, and you see also the holes where we want to approach the market. But in my point of view, even though it's also my company, so it's easy to say that you're the best, but if you look at how Mother Nature wants it, in terms of like the bottle is made from renewable resources, it's compostable within a reasonable amount of time, not like 800 years, and it's also recyclable. So if we massively move towards that direction, we're doing something good, and we have also a lot of governments backing us. So if we reach that mainstream, we should make this the standard, and that is where we're believing in, and that's where we have substantial documentation for to reach that point.
I have a question for you. Is this a universal bottle that you can put anything inside it?
Okay, so I just finalized more or less the product market fit part. Now it's a product technology fit part. It's a container application. Our patent is also based on a container application, but there are some challenges when it comes to certain applications. So we leave those ones behind, and we focus on where we have the perfect product technology fit applications. And those ones are basically the ones we want to focus on. And these are products that have a shelf life of at least 1.5 years, and that is what we can realize.
Thank you, George. Great presentation. And now we go to the next, and not last yet, but is one more to come. But we want to welcome Jad El Katif, Head of Marketing and Innovation of Meraki. Meraki is bringing the next evolution of spatial intelligence, combining data, AI, and design to empower business, cities, and communities across the region. Jad, the stage is yours. Welcome.
Test, 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 test. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Hello, test, yes. So thank you for this opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm presenting to you Meraki. Meraki is a design architecture and interior design company that was launched in 2020, right in the middle of Corona, and then it evolved from the region to Saudi Arabia about 2 years ago. And currently it has more than 40 projects around the region between Africa and the Middle East. And out of our experience, we discovered that there's a gap that we need to address, and there's an opportunity that we need to take. Currently, our design implementation is really based on intuition and less on data and less on technology. A lot of the tools are just layout designs that are happening without integrating a lot of the AI models that we have and a lot of the data that drives this design, and also optimize the ROI on spaces. Meraki Insights is a spatial intelligence tool that is built for smart spaces and smart cities, from lobbies to smart to giga projects. And we are here to fix that with introducing this tool. As I mentioned, so it's an AI tool that empowers architects and engineers as well as asset managers to enhance those spaces and actually build an ROI powered optimized space. Currently, the problem in fact, as we can see, 44% of architects believe that all the information sharing is inefficient. 33% of offices are underutilized. And then 77% of tenants do need more information on their spaces and how we can best utilize them. These are real facts from real sources and real problems that we are facing. In a nutshell here, we're seeing that also the traditional design engines that are available right now often result in wasted space and less ROI as well. Interior planning, labor intensive and time consuming. And the information between them is also drastic. But the business lacks data and actually how to optimize these spatial layouts. The opportunity in the market is big. Global, actually, opportunity is $137 billion. That's in the architecture and design services. And our target market and our sum in Saudi Arabia is projected to be $4.6 billion in 2030. Currently, it's 3.7. Currently, as we can see in a nutshell, Meraki Insight is a data-driven master planning for maximizing. You can consider it as a master planning smart tool to maximize ROI, sustainability, and guest experience as well. It's simple how it works. We upload the floor plan or the maps, or the data that we have. We select the objectives, whether it's guest flow enhancement, design enhancement, or even ROI-driven space intelligence. And then we analyze it through our novel technology that we have, which is multi-layered, and it's been built since about 8 months we're working on. And then we maximize, we go up with the result. We have a case that we've done. I wanted to do a live demo, but we don't have much the time to it. So we've done a pilot project in some of our boutique hotels that we designed their interior. So we wanted to test this And the actual implementation that we done, they had the problem which they had 2 underutilized spaces. And after we introduced that tool and we did this study on it, we increased the seating for 15% and we uncovered 2 spaces, which is a rooftop with a co-working space that increased in the revenue. As you can see here, we came up with the heat maps. This is the initial layout. And then the AI generated layout design. And then afterwards, the increase and actually presenting the rooftop that was incremented in the revenue for $84,000. This is a boutique hotel, and we wanted to actually put this into test, and it can be repeated on large scales from hotel lobbies to even bigger projects. The monetization that we have is a SaaS model and also a white label solution as well as consultant approach. We're targeting according to size and vertical across hospitality, retail and dining, office and commercial spaces, and asset managers to help them optimize their ROI and spaces. The competitive advantage that we have on the rest of the available tools in the market is quite significant. We're not here to compete with them, we're here to integrate with them as well. Because a lot of these they lack the AI layer, they lack the intelligence behind it, and they lack the data. So we're combining AI and data and design optimization, as well as it's a visual first tool. So everything that we come up with is data and dashboards, as well as visual enhancements. These are some of the competition that we have. A lot of them are 3D modeling tools. We are AI-powered insights. We have real-time ROI metrics and a visual workflow for the hospitality and different segments as well. This is not just an industry focus. This is vertical industry focus, sector agnostic. This is the technology that we're using. We have computer vision. We use NLP for analyzing floor plans. We have predictive machine learning layers as well to come up with the forecast, and we have generative AI for coming up with the visual tools and the mood boards. The phases that we're currently in, we have the MVP running, and we have a pilot test that we've done. We're in phase 1 right now, but we're aiming to grow into not only space utilization and analytics, revenue forecasting, but also going into cost estimates, unique spatial solutions, and we're also wanting to integrate with BIM and lead attainabilities, lead certificates, and we're hopefully planning to do a Meraki marketplace in our 3rd phase, which is in 2026. We're currently asking for $350,000 to develop the SaaS platform that we have, and we're also asking for support on 3 pilot projects to implement and scale that business here. If you believe that space needs to be data-driven, then please join us. Thank you.
Hi, Jad. You talked about Office. What portion of your revenue model is relying on Office? Because if you look at some of the countries like the US, there's a structural change in Office. People are not coming back. So is that a big segment of your business model, or just hospitality?
So you're asking about the revenue per square meter.
I'm asking about the segment.
About a revenue, you said?
Particularly Office. You showed hospitality, Office, I forgot the other 2.
Yeah.
So how big is Office out of your revenue model? Because it doesn't matter how much you design that or optimize it.
Yeah,
people aren't coming back.
So we combine guest experience and workflows, and we get a combination of a benchmark, an international and local industry benchmark. And we come up with the expected ROI, or the revenue per square meter. And that's what we did with the Clio Urban Stay as well. So it's a combination of things that we put on our engine to come up with that predictive modeling.
Okay, so let me ask you another question, perhaps. Is this for architects, or can anyone else use it? And because I'm trying to understand how much of your model relies on one-time fee versus recurring revenue constantly. Because once you design the space, how much more are you going to keep designing? Once you optimize it, it's a one-time, or what's the recurring aspect of this that I'm not understanding?
All right.
Perhaps?
So this model is powered by our model is powered by SaaS subscriptions, and we also do white labeling for, and we also customize per industry. So, for example, for asset managers and master planning and real estate companies, we can work as white labeling, or we can do a SaaS model according to the size and according to the amount of work that they have and the size that they have. For example, for the hospitality, we also utilize according to a one-time project fee or a consultancy fee, if that's flexible enough for our business to do it, and according to the size as well as the business that they have. If they want to probably have it instantly to understand a certain heat map for a certain venue or space, so they keep getting insights on that. So we can adapt this according to their needs and objectives. And the same goes for retail and dining as well. So we implement a SaaS, a one-time fee or a project basis consulting as well model. And we also work for design studios, where we can offer them for it to become as well a tool for them to use for their clients as well. So the sky's the limit with this tool, and it's very scalable from hotel lobbies to smart cities and giga projects. The business actually has a lot of its details that we keep on growing according to our data that we train, according to the information that we keep on training with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jad, for that great presentation as well. And now, last but certainly not least, we have Daniel Hill, CEO of Aquivio. Aquivio is creating as hydration, healthy beverages, and fully customized drinks. Please welcome Daniel Hill.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me. My name is Daniel, and I would like to present you a potential future of hydration in smart facilities and even cities. The global beverage landscape is rapidly changing, and wellness and health consciousness is not a luxury anymore. It is a new standard. We see this from the global data that it's the fastest growing segment within the space, which brings a problem in itself, because with more personalization and customization, there's also a bigger fragmentation. And that leads to even more brands and an even higher production of plastic waste through packaging. Now, we could think that the hydration could be solved without packaging through regular water dispensers. But regular water dispensers are just cost centers. They're usually standing unappreciated in a corner, and they're not exciting the end users, and especially not the new generation Z that has a status feeling for their lifestyle and for the functionality of how they want to hydrate. Now, in order to match those two and solve these two problems at once, we suggest that we're leveraging the infrastructure that Industry 4.0 has already given us. Move away from the big beverage factories, unnecessary logistics, the wastefulness, and the unnecessary labor that is involved in the old-fashioned ecosystem. We can use automation and IoT, and so to speak, create these small micro beverage factories directly at point of use. For this reason, we have created the Aquivio hydration terminals, which are based on three fundamental pillars. Number one, the water that we're utilizing from any municipal water source is not just treated for safety. We're also adding value addition through a patented water treatment technology that allows us to produce alkaline and hydrogen-infused water, antioxidant water, or anti-aging water, as marketing could claim it, at the commercial output rate from our smart cloud-connected machinery. At the same time, enable the end user to customize this water with flavors and nutritional infusions. So if they want to have a collagen-based, apple-flavored energy drink, or if they want to have an amino acid-based nootropic wellness drink for vitality or sleep quality, all of this is possible. And one machine enabling 500 new combinations of those exciting combination solutions. All of this is of course bundled with the software aspect, which is seamlessly integrated into facility management systems. So in this moment, the facility operators learn directly from their consumers what the trends are. It enables them for rapid agility to bring them a delightful experience, and of course there's monetization, access control, or any kind of synchronization. The user face is also customizable, so in that sense you can choose the layout, you can choose a communication to your end consumer, and you make it very intuitive with all the data that of course makes you able to improve your facility operations. So it's a complete new value chain with new revenues, a sustainable brand image from plastic-free, bring your own bottle type of beverage production, and of course mixed with all the data. Now we have started this company, I moved from Germany to Taiwan, where we developed the solution, and then after our pre-seed round 2 years ago, we have expanded to Singapore first, and from Singapore we were discovered by a delegation from Saudi Arabia that has made Saudi Arabia now proudly saying so my new home. So we are now already engaging with the Sahaba program under the Ministry of Water, Environment and Agriculture, and we are extremely delighted that we can work on a avenue that can make this change for the future happen from Saudi Arabia to the world, which I see no other place in the world to be capable to bring this revolution in the beverage industry. Now, my background was studying pharmacy in Germany, but I became a bodybuilding world champion at the age of 21 years, which introduced me in the world of nutraceuticals, working for those international nutraceutical companies and understanding the trend and the market, how it's going towards nutraceuticals in beverages. And the reason why choosing Saudi Arabia, despite so much interest from all around the world, where we're working through partnerships, I decided to relocate to Saudi Arabia myself, inspired by the ambitious Vision 2030 that is so aligned to what we have in our concept towards a more sustainable, healthier society, and of course make it digitalized and backed by data. So in the last year we've been highly active in the region, and in particular here in Saudi Arabia, showcasing our solution, and I'm inviting you into our showroom either at Al Akaria in Oleya Street, very nearby to this beautiful venue here at the Future Hospitality Summit, or of course at the Center of Entrepreneurship from Sahaba. We already have obtained our MISA license. We're in the final stages of our incorporation here in Saudi Arabia, making it proudly our regional headquarter. We have raised already 70% of our seed round from Saudi Arabian investors, and most excited, I have to say, which is something that 1 year ago I could not have dreamed about, is we are now in the process of already setting up our beverage manufacturing facility here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to hyper-localize and really utilize the market findings in the most agile form for the Saudi market and from the Saudi market to the region. So right now we are raising our seed round. We have already collected 1.2 million US dollars just in March of this year, and we have already received another $500,000 in commitments in the last month, and now we are in the process of closing this round. Now this is just the beginning, because we want to invite you to be the change makers and work together in creating a concept that will make everybody win, from the planet, the people, and of course rewarding all the smart facility operators, and ultimately create a showcase to the world on how hydration can be redefined, not just dominated by shelf space, but by actual meaning and by consumer demand, driven by data that is generated directly from the grassroots. Okay. How do we? Sorry for that. Here we go.
Hi, Daniel. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, hi. Daniel, I'm just trying to understand, we're at the hospitality conference. If someone came in and said, I want 50 units put out in my 50 hotels, is there some sort of economic payback per customer that you've worked out? I mean, for this kind of model?
Correct. We are a B2B solution provider. So basically for us, we are offering the platform, and the operator can choose all the payment modalities. If they want to sell the drinks, they can do so. If they want to just offer, we had a use case, for example, where one flavor was a specific welcome drink that is offered free of charge, while all the additional nutraceutical infusions can be a premium upsale. Or we can bundle it, of course, into other kind of services, like including it into your room charge based on your room number. And implementing it also into loyalty programs is something that we have encountered particularly from the fitness industry in the gym space. So various membership models, let's say a regular membership is for pay for the beverages, but a VIP status enables you to free beverages on a certain contingency, certain volume. So it is an open platform in that sense, that the facility operators define their use case. And I have to underline, by having such a decentralized production of beverages, the savings are quite enormous. So it is usually the packaging and the transport and the labor, the costs we want to eliminate, that actually increase unnecessarily so the pricing of retail beverages, while in our case we can offer a higher quality at a lower cost for a delightful experience of the end consumer.
But you're leaving it up to the operator to generate the revenue. So your model is going to be focused on selling the machine to the operator. But if you do that, then can you talk about the capital efficiency for scaling? Because you're manufacturing these, right? And your ask earlier on one of the slides was, I think, $2.24 million.
Correct.
Right? So I'm trying to understand, you're going to need a lot of capital to scale with if you're manufacturing these machines and you're leaving it up to the operator.
That is not 100% correct. And I have to underline, as I mentioned, we have different markets, Taiwan, Singapore, Thailand. So in the markets we operate directly ourselves, of course, we have the full control on the pricing strategy. While in markets like in Saudi Arabia, we are under a MISA entrepreneur's license, we're working with the local trading partners. And we're leaving also this market deployment into their control. So they can go by revenue share with facilities, they can rent the machines, or they can, of course, also in that sense, purchase them and then resell them to the actual operators of the facilities. So in the foreign market like Taiwan and Singapore, what we have encountered is a very common model for this is a leasing model on a contract basis, a little bit to be compared like copy machines and ink scenarios, you could say. A very affordable monthly lease that covers the expenses and maintenance, and then at the same time the consumables can be on demand and therefore offset also the capital expenditure for more machines in the market.
Who will be doing the consumable items funding to the machines?
The refills itself at the facility side, or who will be the providers of the consumables?
Okay.
No,
I'm asking you, who will be doing that operation?
The actually refills itself are everything is cloud connected and monitored. So the operators get the notification at the predefined refill status. So this could be at 10% filling level, at 1% filling level, and a dedicated key holder of the equipment can easily then replace the cartridges. What I need to maybe underline in that case, one fully stocked unit with 10 different flavors and infusions holds up to 3,000 beverages, half a liter. So that would be 6,000 cups. So it's very easy to maintain even for a large facility, and it doesn't require any kind of daily refills or something of that nature. So ease of maintenance is a very high priority, and I would say the core reason why automation is so powerful in this day and age when it is effectively implemented. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. So that's it of the. Okay. So this is the end of the finalist presentation. I really want to thank you to all the participants for that great ideas, for thinking out of the box. I know being an entrepreneur is not an easy journey, but keep sharing your ideas. Keep sharing your ideas, because that's the best way we're going to change the world. Because you are doing with your ideas, you're really transforming better hospitality and a better world. So keep sharing the idea. That's my personal advice to the judges. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you so much for your questions. And now what's going to happen, we're going to take 10 minutes to just go through the score sheets and put it all together. And in 10 minutes, we're going to announce the winner. And as we said before, tomorrow in the summit ceremony, we're going to have the award ceremony. But today, in 10 minutes, we're going to announce the winners. Okay? Thank you so much. invites two of the judges. They want to speak with you guys, give a little words, a little remarks before they're gonna announce the winner. So, applause for the judges, please. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, thank you for the wonderful presentations that we had today. We've seen a lot of ideas that in different stages. What I would like to tell you, if you are, since you're part of the finalists, first of all, you can keep going and you try your best. Being being an entrepreneur is challenging yet rewarding. So I would say that it's a long road, but it's a very beautiful journey. So I just suggest you that you keep going and other opportunities also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Khalid. So I just wanted to recognize all the participants. It's a journey. It's a difficult journey. I, for one, have lived it. I'm living it today. And I've failed at a lot of things, to be honest, and succeeded at one or two home runs, thank God. So I know the journey and the shoes you're filling every day. So I truly appreciate everyone pitching. But we came to one party that we thought stood out, and we'd like to congratulate Intello AI, Asif Aladana. Congratulations. You were the chosen winner from this group. Thank you.
So that's it. Thank you so much. And hopefully next year we're going to have new ideas, new dreamers, new entrepreneurs changing this war as well. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that.